Coming up on today's episode of...
How I Do you not think that's...
Can you not be professional just for 1 minute? Coming up on today's episode of...
How I failed in business. Bonjour.
I think a lot of creative subjects and vocational subjects really get a bit of a hard time of it sometimes.
The last thing I want is another lawsuit on my hands.
Actually get a hobby, like get a life. Do you know what I mean? Get a hobby.
Had to put my house up as collateral, and they said to me, you know, who's backing you, who's supporting you? I was like, no one.
Hello and welcome to How I Failed in Business, the podcast where we talk honestly about the stuff no one wants to shout about.
I'm Megan Grace, everyone's favourite co-host.
And I'm Rob Spence, and no one likes me. I literally just read this and didn't even see that. Well done.
Thank you. Each week we share the mistakes, awkward moments and hard lessons we've picked up along the way.
Sometimes it's our mishaps, sometimes it's other people's, but it's always real, unfiltered, and hopefully reassuring.
Because no matter the mistakes you've made, you're not the first and probably not the last.
Absolutely not when you've got us two by your side. Let's get to it. How the devil are you, Megan?
Really good. How are you?
Really good. But how are you? How's your week been? What's new?
What has been new? Not a lot. Come back to me. I'll circle back. You go.
Great.
No.
Molly, how's your week been?
I haven't really got much to say, to be honest.
Wonderful. Welcome
Sorry.
to the How I Failed in Business
No, because
podcast.
I'll get told off now by producer Lynn, because every time she says, oh, you need to like make something up, I can't think on the spot. She said, even if you had a boring week, just make something interesting, and I can't.
Only we had this episode booked in for a good couple of weeks, we could have thought about something. How is Lynn? How is Lynn? Because I'm not allowed to message her anymore. Lynn, this is a public plea. I don't want you to think that I've been ignoring you. It's not. I read our chats every day, and I hope that I just see at the top on WhatsApp that you're typing. But I've been forbidden. I'm forbidden to message you. I'm not too sure if you're aware of this. Have you told Lynn that I'm not allowed to message her?
No, I've not told Lynn.
Well,
then
she
she'll
knows
tell
now.
me off, and then she'll message you, and then it'll all start again. I can't be asked for it.
However, I'm here to tell Lynn off today. Right? No, I'm not very happy with Lynn.
Why?
I bought her a Christmas present. Right?
Yeah.
And I don't think she's used it.
No, I don't even know where it is, to be honest with you.
If she binned it?
I've not seen it.
Has she
in a
binned
while.
it?
I've not seen the cap either, to be honest with you. Or
Ridiculous.
The puzzle. I know.
So Molly, I think Molly knows. So we bought executive producer Lynn a How I Failed in Business jigsaw puzzle straight from our merchandise store. Well, I don't think I'm well today.
No.
I spent my hard-earned. Let me rephrase that. I spent my money on that jigsaw puzzle.
You did.
Okay, I sent it directly to their home, addressed to them. Right, and I was told that on a snow day, oh, don't worry, Rob. Well, I'm going to watch the snow and do my jigsaw puzzle. Nothing.
She's not done it.
Not done it.
She's not
Ridiculous. But hi, Lynn. I would love to message you, but I'm not allowed.
No.
Do you want to know something really interesting?
No.
Something really fun? I was looking at some analytics this morning, just looking at how well the show is doing. And we have got listeners. I just want to focus on listeners. We've got some great viewers all over the world on YouTube. But we've got some great countries listening to us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and a whole variety of podcast streaming services. So I do want to reach out and say a massive thank you to all of you for listening in. We do mean it. And there's some countries that have completely taken me by surprise. Okay. And I'd like to put you to the test on these, if that's all okay.
Right, I would quiz me.
Say again, sorry?
Are you going to quiz me?
I'm going to quiz you.
I'm supposed to look at you.
So no, don't worry. I'm not going to quiz you on where we've done them.
Okay.
I'm going to list you some of the countries, probably like the top 6 or 7 countries that listen to our show. I'd like you to either say hello to those people in their language.
I can't.
Yes, you can.
Bonjour.
Or in their accent. Okay, so again, some of these have taken me by surprise. Okay, these are within the past 6 months, and then I counted in the past 6 months there is 50 countries that we stream to, so we can't do them all. No. But we'll start the highest: United Kingdom.
Hello.
United States.
Can't do accent.
You can do it, Molly.
Hello.
Oh, that was so good. Okay. Canada.
Well, that's even harder.
Molly, we're relying on you.
Hello.
we'll accept that. That's only quite Canadian.
Molly's quite a good accent.
Right.
That's what I've learned today.
I love these from Molly. This was a game for you. So if you could chip in, that'd be great.
I can't do accents.
France.
Bonjour.
Oh, beautiful. Australia.
Ooh. What do they say?
What do they say? This is a place that you want to move to. You want to move to this place,
I do.
and you don't know.
No, there's like a phrase. That
There is a
helps you get into
phrase.
The accent.
I'd love to help you, and I know that the viewer or the listener is dying for me to help you to move this along, but I want to see you struggle.
I can't.
Good day, mate.
Oh, we should have done a points on this one because you are ridiculous.
I don't like accents. I wasn't prepared for this.
Spain.
Ooh. No, it's not. It's not bonjour. Bonjour, no. Bonjour, no.
Is it bonjour,
bonjour
or is
no?
that Italy?
What's Spain?
Salute.
Salute. Yeah, salute.
Hola.
Hola,
shit, yeah.
hola,
That's-
¿cómo está?
Well, that's hello.
Hello, how are you?
Yeah.
We're so just to
Hello.
remind you of the game, we are trying to say hello to all of our listeners in their native tongue. Okay, Belgium. Even I don't know. We're going to move on from that one.
Sorry,
It
Belgium.
gets worse. It gets harder. Singapore.
Oh, fucking hell. It's probably
No,
not
I
that.
don't think that's what they go for. Molly, any ideas for Singapore? Japan. We've got listeners over in Japan.
Konnichiwa.
Wow. Okay, that one surprised me. This one you should know. India.
I do know it as well, and I've
Of
forgotten
course you do.
it.
Of course she does. Of course she knows it.
No, I do know it. Give me a second. I'm so sorry to everyone I've let down. I don't know.
Executive producer Lynn is taking notes right now,
What?
going, I'm disowning this daughter of mine.
Why?
Right. Finland.
I know their flag, if that helps. Does
Not
that
really.
help?
That's not the
No.
game. The game, again, just to reiterate, was to say hello to our listeners in their mother
I don't
tongue.
speak Finnish.
New Zealand. Oh.
It's like the Australian accent, isn't it? But
I think you've
different.
just offended our New
Hi.
Zealand listeners
Hi.
by saying.
I
Okay, we'll move on from that game. Not a good, successful game.
can't do accents. I feel like I have mentioned this before. You've tried to get me to do accents before. I can't do accents. That's not changed.
No, and again, we don't want to get cancelled by doing some of your accents
No.
either. But look,
What is? Can I Google it? 'Cause
What?
It piss me off. What hello is? And
while you Google that, I'm going to say a heartfelt thank you. But we are really appreciative of all of you listeners out there. We know there's some of you local, there's some of you far and wide, and we do appreciate all of you tuning in. Our viewership on social media has grown dramatically as well, which is fantastic. I can see Megan's sort of brain just ticking over as she looks for this. She's literally, I can see right now, she's on Tinder looking at all the messages she's sent. Like, how did I say hello to this guy again? Let's have a look. Where are we at?
I had to search it because there's different like regions.
Oh my gosh. Just India.
No, India's not an option. There's like different. Different
Just
regions
bear in
of
mind, you are speaking to a
India.
Punjabi movie star here, so I
Shut up.
am aware of this. Oh, you're going to play it?
Sat Sri Akal.
Sepsis.
Sepsis.
Sat Sri Akal.
Sri Akal.
Lovely. Well, look, thank you so much to all of our listeners and viewers around the world. It's going well, though, isn't it? The analytics are growing. We're getting plenty of downloads per week, per month.
We are.
Fantastic. And we're very soon going to be announcing a new sponsor.
Mm-hmm.
Podcast, which is exciting. But before we do introduce our guest, because she's sat here very patiently and thinking, what on earth have I got myself in for here? We would like to make a public apology. We try and get things right here on the show. We try really hard to get things right on the show. Sometimes we get those things wrong. We're only human after all. And sometimes we do need to issue an official apology just to keep lawyers and solicitors at bay. Because the last thing I want is another lawsuit on my hands. So we do owe an apology on the podcast. However, the apology isn't necessarily from me. Okay?
I'll just read it out.
The apology comes from Megan
I
Grace.
don't know what I've done.
Now, legally, from a legal
is it
state,
because I spelled episodes wrong? Is it because I spelled episodes wrong?
we have two apologies to make. I'm going to need you to read this word for word.
Yeah.
Our lawyers have said that legally we have to read this word for word.
That's perfect.
Okay? I'm going to need you to look down our camera focus here, and I'm going to need to read this with sincerity. No? Sincerity?
I'm not doing that. You're actually like a 14-year-old child. You're playing Fortnite. Hi. I'll read it.
No, please do.
Hi, my name is Megan Grace, and I would like to offer a sincere. What's the word? What's the word when you tell someone the truth about themselves?
Apology.
That's not an apology.
Legally.
I'm not apologising. Hi, Adam Such. First of all, What sort of last name is Such?
Don't offend him further.
On our final episode of 2025, I made a joke about Rob and his gaming buddies getting together for gaming parties, and my jokes may have crossed a line, although I don't think they did. I didn't, but I did. I did mean to belittle you and
What
make
does
you
it
feel
say?
like a 14-year-old boy. Because you are. Because you're acting like a 14-year-old boy. Because why are you all getting together as a group of middle-aged men being like, oh, let's play some games. Oh, let's play Fortnite. You are middle-aged. You are middle-aged.
Can you read the apology?
To be clear, I do believe... Rob has
Sorry, we didn't quite hear that.
I do believe only Rob has a tiny PlayStation in your friendship group. And I have no doubt that the best in the group will be at least an average size. We value all our listeners, but not you, Such. And probably, you know what? I actually don't really mind if we lose your listen. I also take the opportunity to slag off the whole gaming community because I don't understand. Because like, what is the point and what is the need? I don't really understand.
Of what?
I don't. Of
Can
like
you just
gaming.
read the rest of the apology?
Oh, I'm gonna go on to GT. I'm gonna crush some cars. Like, actually get a hobby. Like, get a life. Do you know what I mean? Get a hobby. You're literally.
Sorry,
you're playing some
yeah.
like fictional game dressed as Sabrina Carpenter, and this is what you do for fun.
Can you finish off the apology, please?
You are nerds. You are geeks.
No.
And I'm super cool. What the fuck? Why is it yours? The love of pixels. What does that even mean?
It's a gaming joke for the pixels.
Also for the
Yeah.
cool kids at the game.
Yeah.
Megan
There we are.
Grace.
Well done. Thank you. That was beautiful. Brought
Is that
tears
okay,
to my-
Adam Such?
I think we may have pissed him off further, but
Sorry, Adam Such.
we're gonna go. We're gonna try. We're gonna try and claw him back.
I don't really care, to be honest.
Can I read out the message that he sent to me? Okay, I should have sent this to you before you read that apology because I think you would have cared more.
You've already sent it?
Did you see it?
Yeah, you sent it.
That's not Such. Because Such, I do owe you an apology. I don't actually have your number saved in my phone.
Yeah, he doesn't.
Started my redemption arc as HiFib's top fan today, and I got 4 months to catch up on. And the show piqued my interest from your socials. This Is Your Life featuring Megan. Interesting and light-hearted. Really enjoyed it and started to warm towards Megan. You nearly had a fan.
I do have many fans. I don't need Adam Such.
Until you mentioned our little Christmas get-together. I don't think I can listen to the show any further without a formal apology after being belittled and compared to 14-year-old boys.
Okay, don't listen then.
I do sit on the side with you slightly. I did message him later down the line because he thought that Sophia had the same reaction last year. And I said, maybe we do just have to accept the fact we are losers.
Yeah.
And he agrees.
Yeah.
But I appreciate the half-hearted apology, even if it was only half-hearted.
It wasn't really an apology at all, actually. I don't agree with anything that's written here.
You don't?
I don't.
You don't think I've got a little PlayStation?
Maybe.
I'll accept that. Right. Anyway, let's finally introduce today's guest because she's been sat waiting very patiently.
So can I just...
Very dramatic. Very do you want another one or not got the strength for it? No, I didn't think so. Oh, here we go. Oh, okay, she has. Apologies. But I'd like to introduce our guest today who's travelled a very long way to come and join us, reached out to us not too long ago and wanted to become a guest, which I'm really, really thankful for. So I'd like to introduce our guest today, Kate Holohan of Hair Therapy. Kate, welcome.
Hello.
There we are. And the smoke's not too much. There we are. Perfect level of smoke there. Molly, thanks so much. Thanks for joining us. Where have you come from? Where's home for you?
In Kent, in the southeast.
Lovely. Are you Kent born and bred? Are you a big advocate for Kent or?
Probably wouldn't go so far as advocate, but
Okay.
I do love it there. I guess I've stuck around. There's
Yeah.
definitely some nice parts, and yeah, I'm quite happy there. Yeah, it's a nice part of the world.
Lovely. Because you've never been, have
I've
you?
never been to Kent.
I've never been. Where, if we do ever visit and maybe do like a How I Failed in Business tour, where obviously
Yes.
apart from your place of work, where should we be visiting? What would you recommend?
Well, yeah, I mean, I've got the clinic in Kings Hill in West Malling, so definitely pop down there.
Of course.
I'm based more kind of Tunbridge Wells, which is also quite nice. There's quite a lot of historical things in Kent. When you're kind of walking around, there's often kind of just a house with a little plaque on it where it says, oh, you know, Arthur Conan Doyle lived
yes.
here, or
The author of Sherlock Holmes, I believe, is that
Yeah.
right?
and there is some
Yeah.
quite interesting things if you actually get the time to kind of wander around, especially places like Rochester. There's quite a lot of history,
Oh,
so it can be quite nice. But
lovely.
and you got obviously quite a lot of seaside a bit
Yes.
further out.
Yeah.
So
Maybe we'll have to do that as a bit of a tour.
High fib tour.
Maybe we can go around to places of business of our guests and record. We did say we wanted to
We
record.
did say that was a whole idea we had.
We need to kind of kickstart that a little bit.
Yeah.
But Kate, thanks so much for joining us. Tell us a little bit about what you do. Tell us about hair therapy. Tell us about your business.
So my background is hair. So I've been doing hair now for probably about 28 years.
Wow.
I've always been quite kind of artistic and creative, and I kind of fell into hair, which I'll probably tell you about later. And so I've been doing that a long time. Then I got into education kind of 4 or 5 years into it. I mainly got into education just because I wanted to be able to assess the trainees that we had in the salon to help them kind of get through their qualification really quickly. But then got offered a job by the people that I did my training with to start teaching for them. So I did that for a long time as well. I've been doing all sorts of education, different levels. And then in 2019, I was a member of the Fellowship of British Hairdressing.
Wow.
And they put on a hair health evening in London. So I thought, well, even though I've been teaching at that time for kind of 15, 16 years, hair health was probably the area that I kind of knew the least about. You know, when you're teaching, you have to keep up with the latest techniques and ideas and colours and products. And so we used to do a lot of CPD and education ourselves, but it was more for part of our job role. And sadly, I think I must be someone who does education for fun as well. I'm always kind of like, oh, what can I learn now?
Yeah.
So hair health, I realised, was probably the area where I didn't have that much knowledge and understanding.
Sure.
Once I then got introduced to the profession of trichology and how much that could help people. So with trichology, you're looking at hair loss, hair and scalp issues. So it's that kind of bridge between kind of medical and cosmetic. We kind of sit in the middle. So once I kind of heard about that and how you could really help clients, I then started to study trichology and realised exactly how much I didn't know about hair health and scalp health. And I'm now realising you'll never know. I'm still learning now, kind of 5 years on. But yeah, it was absolutely amazing. I literally, as soon as I found out, I was kind of hooked. So I studied then with the Institute of Trichology in London for 2.5 years. Now I'm educating for them sometimes as well, which is amazing. And then I set up my clinic as well. So that was really, really good. So I now still do education, but I also educate in hair and scalp health. So especially for hairdressers themselves, you get to a certain point when you're doing hair. It's a bit like learning to drive. Like when you first learn to drive, you're so worried about kind of what gear you're in or what pedals there are.
You're sort of overthinking it all, aren't you?
And there's so much to do. When you first start out with hair, even just trying to do a colour application properly or trying to understand what the clients are even really asking for and do a consultation and meet their needs is enough. But you kind of get to a point in your career, kind of a lot of people about 10, 15 years in, where they're seeing these people come and they've got hair loss issues or they've got scalp issues, and you kind of think, I don't really know what to say. I can't really help them. So it was really nice for me now to have those answers and be able to give people a little bit more confidence and ideas in talking about that as well. Obviously, I've got the clinic in Kings Hill now as well, so I can really help people. And then I've also got my own podcast, Hair Therapy, where if people aren't sick of me already, then they can listen to that as well and get help from that.
Yeah, and we'll definitely come on to that in due course, and we'll make sure we tag it into the show notes below. Do you want to ask for a friend, grey hair, why does hair turn grey?
Because you get old.
Yeah, it's a very good.
Yeah,
It is a very good question because I can scientifically tell you why.
Yeah, it's not for me. Just obviously, yeah, for a friend. Yeah.
It's
Adam
because
such maybe.
well, not if they're all 14. They probably won't have grey.
Yeah,
They
yeah, come on,
act
mate.
14, they're not actually 14.
So, scientifically, we have little things. So each individual hair follicle is actually an organ.
Oh, okay.
So if you think of organs in our body, you know, things like heart, lungs, brain,
Yeah.
each individual hair follicle is an actual organ.
Wow, I didn't know
So
that. Okay.
it's not like skin cell where
Yeah.
it's just got a nucleus and other things. It's literally a fully functioning, independent organ in the body. So they're actually amazing. And they have things called melanocytes.
Right.
And what melanocytes do is they produce the melanin, which produces the colour in our hair. So it produces colour pigment.
Yeah.
So at a certain time in every hair's life, or most hair's life, they just won't produce that colour pigment anymore. And then you get, it's not actually grey hair, it's actually colourless white hair. So physically, that's why. Why that happens, we can only deduce that it is because it signifies ageing. And when you look at the fact that even animals go grey,
Right. Okay.
so if you look at like dogs, cats, foxes, you do actually notice that some of them, when they get older, start to get grey hair. So there is this theory that obviously is to signify that they're kind of the head of the tribe, or that they should be cared for, whatever it is.
You hearing this? Head
The
of a
only
tribe.
strange thing about that is the fact that it's so varied in when it happens. It's not like everyone hits 60 and they go grey.
Yeah.
Some people it's 20, other people it's 80. So that seems a bit unfair, but that's the reasoning we think why. But you can also find if you're very young and you're starting to get white hair, or you get some white hairs come quite suddenly, there is also some evidence to suggest that it could be maybe like a vitamin deficiencies, or there may be something else going on, like B12. And it's not actually impossible for hair to start to repigment.
Really? Okay.
So we don't see it a lot. And I'm not making any guarantees
No,
or
no,
promises.
no.
But there are cases where sometimes if people go excessively grey early, quite quickly,
Yeah.
that if they then look at things like blood tests and stuff, that can improve somewhat.
That makes a
But
lot of
that's
sense.
a bit of a theory, but it's mainly is just because we're getting old, sadly.
I'll let my friend know. I will let my friend know. I do have another friend who, to be fair, he had like a patch of sort of grey white hairs from, I've probably known him since, you know, like we were 10 or 12 kind of thing. So he always had like a patch. It was just on like his kind of sideburn kind of thing. So I assume that's down to that. And again, I'm not here just to milk you for tips, but if you were to know of someone who potentially was starting to recede, potentially, is there anything that can be done to do that? In particular, sort of around, you know, these kind of areas. Just there, is it? Yeah. Is there anything that can be done, or is it just a lost cause now?
So I try to be positive anyway. I would never kind of say to anyone that it's
Give it to me
there's a
straight, doctor.
lost cause, but there's many reasons for hair loss.
Mm-hmm.
It's possible that your friend, without having seen them,
Yeah.
it may be just a genetic kind of male pattern or female pattern hair loss, which does come from, it's a genetic condition. So we can't cure baldness. However, like I said to you guys before we were talking, really the earlier that you can get onto hair loss, the better your prognosis will be.
Oh, really?
So almost kind of prevention is better than cure.
Yeah.
So with male pattern hair loss, what happens is the hair follicles actually start to shrink and miniaturise. And your hair gets smaller and smaller and thinner and finer. And there's actually a point where up until that point you can hopefully regenerate that hair and encourage it to get thicker again and kind of keep it.
Okay.
After that certain point, there is nothing you can do to restore that hair. So there is a point where there is very little we can do. Hence why I've also trained in hair systems as well. And obviously I don't do it, but I know people that do things like micropigmentation,
Right. Yeah.
where you kind of tattoo the scalp so
Yeah,
it
yeah.
looks. But certainly kind of looking at the kind of things you can do to manage that process, slow it down, and kind of prevent further progression, you can end up kind of keeping more hair for longer and slowing it down.
There you go. I'll let my friend know.
Yeah, you let your friend know.
I'll let my friend know. He was worried that it was because he had a habit of like running his hand through his hair majestically. And it was just like every time he did it, it was just like pulling hair out. But I'll let him know. I'll let him know all the same.
It's a really good point, though. Not quite what you said, but people do get really worried when they do have, especially with hair shedding, that people do get really worried that if they wash their hair or if they brush their hair and it's coming out, that they are pulling it out or that they're doing something to it. If that's the case, which I know is slightly different to what you said, but obviously hair is very, very strong.
Right.
It's really strong. So a couple of hairs can hold up a lot of weight. It's actually got really good tensile strength. So certainly kind of touching it, it might make it a bit more greasier or something over time. And I didn't mean that in the same way that some people might have interpreted it.
No, yeah.
But it does.
I remember that, yeah.
But it's not, hair's really strong and it can withstand a lot. If you're pulling out your hair and it's actively still growing, it would hurt.
Right, okay.
So if you're washing your hair, don't be scared if you've got stuff going on and think, well, I don't want to wash my hair in case it makes it worse. Because if you're shampooing your hair and lots of hair's coming out, those hairs are actually in what's called the telogen phase, which is a resting phase.
Right.
They've already stopped growing.
Okay.
So if it's coming out but it's not hurting, it's probably dead already and due to come out.
Right.
And actually keeping your hair and scalp clean and healthy and making it a really good environment for hair to grow is actually far more positive than trying not to wash it because you don't want to disturb hairs. Like, they're coming out anyway. So don't panic about stuff like that.
There we go. Obviously my friend, as best I know, isn't panicking so much yet. He's washing it every single day, every single morning.
He's supposed to wash it every single day, though.
So again, I think this is something that really is kind of gets misconstrued because everyone goes, oh, you shouldn't wash your hair every day. If you've got really short hair, you're not colouring it, you're not doing anything to it, you're not putting excessive heat on it, and you're using a product that respects the scalp's natural microbiome. So something that's more gentle, that's not stripping the scalp of all the oils and the natural goodness that we need. There's nothing wrong with washing your hair every day. Most people don't need to, but it's so really anything between once a day and once a week, depending on the person, is perfectly fine. We normally recommend kind of like 2 to 3 times a week is a good method, but there is certainly nothing wrong with washing your hair every day, and especially if you're using a lot of products, or maybe you're going to the gym, or you're doing something where you might get build up or sweat or oil on the scalp. There's nothing wrong with washing it, so it really is a personal thing.
Okay, fair enough.
Do you wash your hair?
I used to wash my hair every day, and then all my friends were like, oh my god, you shouldn't do that, that's why your hair's, because like my hair's really thin. And it doesn't grow. Like, it literally gets to like a certain length and just stops growing. It just gets like split ends. It's awful. They're like, yeah, it's because you're washing it every day. Stop washing it every day.
No, it's because that's what your hair type's like.
I got told a myth and I'm fuming.
How dare they?
I know.
Was that Gassy Nina?
It might have been, actually.
Oh, what does Gassy Nina know? Gassy Nina. Shut up, Gassy Nina. You know nothing. Clearly, you know what you're talking about. You've got the expertise there, and you've now sort of put that into. So, how are we terming it? Sorry, salon, clinic. What's the?
Yeah, so I've got a clinic.
Yeah,
I do hair as well. Still, I've got clients that I've been doing for kind of, as long as I've been working. You just never will leave me. Love them. But yeah, mainly in the clinic, I try to do more just kind of like treatments, hair loss solutions, diagnosis, consultations, that kind of thing. So it's a bit of a nicer atmosphere in there.
And I was looking through your website a little bit yesterday and some more today. And one thing that I've really picked up on you and your socials actually is, and again, even this morning, is just your passion. Your passion from it. Even I said that you've smiled.
Yeah.
Are you still as passionate about it as you were on day one?
Oh, probably more so now, I think. I was at a conference yesterday and, you know, it wasn't just me, but it's so funny because you can really, like, all the kind of people that are so involved in hair loss. Like, there was a guy there, and I will try and, I think it's Nick Georgiopoulos, a doctor, and he was talking about all different things to do with scalp cooling and the new kind of innovations that can help make scalp cooling more effective for people with chemotherapy, so that they can retain their hair or more of their hair while they're having chemo. And we had about 7 or 8 speakers yesterday, and everybody couldn't run to time. Like, you couldn't shut anyone up. Everyone was just so enthusiastic and had so much information and so much to share that they were literally having to be kind of like pushed off for the next person to come on. But it's one thing I love about hair loss in particular, because trichology is quite a niche thing, and there's still, you know, quite a few of us compared to most other professions. And everyone gets into the field of hair loss because they want to help people, right? So everybody's so passionate about it. And once you start going into all the science of it, it's like this massive rabbit hole. So I don't think it's just me. I think everyone who's into hair loss is this, like, they won't shut up about it, basically. You can't help it.
I love that. And you took the words right out of my mouth, because we've had an array of guests on the podcast, and we've got an array of, you know, of sectors lined up to come and speak on. We've never sat down with someone who specialises in what you do, and it is a very niche business model. I've been doing a bit of research recently into the niching down of your business and the benefit, the pros, the cons, and I know we've spoken about it before on the podcast. When you started to niche into trichology, I think is the right way to say it, I think, were you nervous, apprehensive about it, or did you just know that's what I need to do?
No, literally, I went on the hair health evening. It was run by Robert Eaton, who has won British Hairdresser of the Year at least twice.
Wow.
And is also a trichologist, and he's amazing. And I think, again, his passion for it was so infectious. And it was almost kind of like the missing puzzle piece for me, of not saying I know everything, but because I'd done so much in colour and cutting and styling and all the other aspects, this was so like the last bit that really kind of clicked and made everything make sense. And I'm a great believer that I know so many people as well that as they've gone through their career, you have all these random experiences and kind of qualifications, or you do something and then you don't use it, or you think, oh, well, I've done that, but now it's no use. And in the end, this whole accumulation of experience and qualifications and everything you've done comes to this kind of unique place where you've now got this amazing kind of pot of all this stuff that you've learned. So, you know, not every trichologist, it has a hair background.
Right.
You can study trichology from anything. A lot of them have like physics degrees, or they're medical, or they've got nothing to do with hair at all, and they just decide to go into it. But I think for me, having the background in hair and education, to then find this, like literally from that meeting, I was on the train on the way home emailing the Institute of Trichologists. Yeah. And there was never... Because I remember when I started my podcast, I interviewed a guy who had studied a few years before.
Right.
And he was a hairdresser. And he said, oh, I was so intimidated on the course because, you know, everyone else had like degrees and they were really academic and they were really good. And there was a lady on my course who had a physics degree. Yeah. And she was getting 100% in all her assignments. And yet she'd never touched another human being's head before, you know, and she was terrified to kind of do the physical examination and the treatment. And I was just kind of like, let me at it, like I'm perfect. And he kind of said, oh, I was really worried. I didn't even think I was going to get through my first year. Like I thought I was going to fail. And for the first year, because it's not an easy course and there is a lot to go through. And for a lot of people, they've either never worked at that level of education before, especially if you've had a hair background, or it's been a long time since you've done any education. So it was quite, the first couple of assignments and the levels of requirement was quite a shock to the system. The pass rate for the first year was ridiculously low. I think it was about 40% or something. Never occurred to me that I would sign up for the course that I was going to fail in any. I was just like, yeah, I'm going to do it. It just never, I was just like, no, I'm doing it.
Yeah.
Got on and did it. So I don't know if that was, I don't think, I would like to say it's not arrogance or foolishness. It was just determination, really, that I was like, no, this is my path now and this is what I want to do. And it's the same thing with my clinic. I mean, I do have to say, shout out to Capital Space. The clinic that I have is in a business centre, so there's 125 businesses within my clinic space.
Wow, okay.
There's free parking, 24-hour access. It's really, really safe. It's all key entry job. And there's lots and lots of other businesses that complement mine.
Okay.
So it works really well. You've got beauty therapists, aestheticians, counsellors, barbers, all sorts of people that I could maybe refer people onto. They could refer to me. So that's amazing. But they're really, really supportive. You can set up a space there. They have loads of different office space, all different sizes. You put 3 months down, and then anytime you want to leave, you give a month's notice, you can move.
Wow.
If you want to move to a bigger office space, you can just move. If you want to go smaller, you can move. So, and it's really supportive. They do lots of networking. They do education themselves. I've done talks for them, for all the other businesses on podcasting and how that can elevate your business and get you noticed. And so it really, really, I'm really lucky I had a really supportive environment as well, that I could literally do my qualification. As soon as I got my certification, I was like, right, I want to get going, and I just did.
I love that. And I want to, if I can, just before we move on to our game, because one thing we talk about here in the business at Paragon, and obviously with Fresh, is the sense of community and sense of sort of co-working and collaboration. For you as a business owner then, stepping into that, what's it meant to you to have, was it 120 businesses, did you say? What did it mean to you to have that community sort of there, ready to go?
I mean, I'm still on my own in my clinic.
Sure.
But I do know a couple of people, but we have a reception team.
Yeah.
So that's really lovely as well. And it's nice to have that little bit of kind of support and help. But I do find, I think especially when I've been freelance as a hairdresser on and off for years. Even when I educate, I go and teach on my own. I'm driving somewhere. So I've had both. I've had a salon where I had kind of 22 staff and had that community. And I do think it's really important. Like, I'm always going to kind of networking events, collaborating with other businesses, doing things like this, just randomly harassing people on the internet until they talk to me.
Yeah.
I do think it's really important. And I just think, again, it's that whole thing of you never really know what's going to come of it. You might have a conversation with someone one day or do a presentation somewhere or offer some advice. And then 2 years later, that person might say, oh, God, actually, now I really want to work with you.
Yeah.
Or, you get that name out there. People say, oh, I know someone.
Exactly.
But it has been really, really lovely, even just to go into the kitchen and there's people there kind of going, oh, can you believe Dave said that? Oh, no. And having a little bit of that connection and community is quite nice. But at the same time, they kind of leave me alone. I do whatever I want. They don't really leave me alone. So it's fine.
I think it's so important. We've just set up a bit of a co-working club. So we run a networking group called Fresh. And what we do is the first Friday of every month, the first Friday and the second Tuesday, is we open up studio doors, invite people in for some co-working, just to get that sense of community and collaboration out there. Because when I set up my business, I was all alone, and I'd look out the window and see this whole world going on, and I was just sat there, just bored, crying, turning grey.
You don't even know, like, you don't know what you're going to get out of it.
Yeah.
But sometimes you could meet someone and they could say one thing and say, oh, have you thought about this? Or have you tried this app? Or have you tried this put that through Chat GPT or whatever, and you think, oh my God, why didn't I think of that?
Exactly.
And that's saved you like 2 days worth of work. Or someone will say, oh, look, I know someone who knows all about that. And it's just so, you have no idea from doing things like co-working and especially for me, like I say, no one knows what a trichologist is. So if I don't go out and spread the word and do the networking and talk to people, and when you mention hair loss, people are talking about it a lot more than what they used to, but still, no one really talks about it. So if you're in a room with supportive people and you're all sharing and you say, oh, I deal with hair loss, probably someone in that room is going to say, oh, actually, I know someone who's going to have chemotherapy soon, or I used to have hair loss, or, you know, it starts opening up all those conversations with people that you don't, you know, you find out all this stuff and you can help people you didn't even know needed help. So it's really useful.
And I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I assume it's far deeper and greater than just hair loss, because hair is such an important part to everyone. Like Megan nearly cried earlier when she said that her hair couldn't grow longer than what it is. You know,
it is annoying, isn't it?
It is.
But it's an important, you know, if we think about mental health, if we think about confidence, you know, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, you know, I think sort of words like alopecia really got thrown into the media with Gail Porter and everything that she went through. And before then, it was kind of like an unknown quantity. So I think what you're doing, I think, you know, is incredible, because it really helps and supports not just those that are going through hair loss, but like say things like chemotherapy, which just opens up a whole other kettle of fish, for want of a better term. But I do want to dive deeper into your podcast. I want to dive deeper into something that happened before you set up your business, which is quite a good story. So I want to dive into that. But can we, if we may, play our game with you? Is that all okay?
Rob, what are you doing?
Oh, playing golf this afternoon, Megan.
Aren't you a really busy, important businessman?
I am really busy. I've got so much to do. I'm still going to play golf this afternoon.
How?
Well, one of the things that business owners get caught up in is bookkeeping and simple bookkeeping tasks. But I work smart. I use Xero accounting software.
What, Xero?
Well, Megan, Xero is a highly intuitive piece of software, cloud-based, that allows you to send invoices, keep on top of your bookkeeping, and ultimately helps you run the finance of your business at a click of a button.
Wow, that sounds really good.
Do you know what? It's really good. And one of the things that I absolutely love is all of the reports. I can look at my profit and loss in the click of a finger. And what that means is that most important part of the business, some would say the most boring part, the accounts, invoicing, chasing invoices, it's done for me, which frees up my time.
Wow, I think every business owner should have that.
Do you know what? I agree. I agree wholeheartedly. The more people can get on the golf course, the better. And listen, we have just partnered with Xero. And that means that any business owner listening to this podcast can get 6 months at 90% off just by clicking the link in the comments or the show notes below.
That's amazing.
Do you know what? It is fantastic. So listen, if you are, you know, for any business owner out there that wants to be on the golf course, that wants to get out there, have some fun, all they've got to do, click that link, try Xero for next to nothing and see how it changes their life.
Cue the music, Molly. We're going to play a game. Can you reach the camera? Can you reach it? I'll tell you what, Megan, do you want to explain Mystery Mishaps?
Okay.
Over to you.
So we've got it's like a brand company or a business that have had some sort of mishap, made a mistake somewhere along the line. It can be big, it can be small, it can be whatever. We're going to give you 5 clues and you've got to guess the company.
I mean, I might do as well on this as you did with your game earlier, but we'll give it a go.
I don't think that was that bad. I think
Okay.
I did quite well, actually.
I will give you forewarning as well, right?
This isn't that hard.
Is it not?
I'm going to stand firm on this. I think it is. I don't know. Did you take one of me?
No, because we need to take out the blank one.
Oh, yeah, true.
Yeah. So normally when I write them, they're quite simple, because I want to make friends with you. I don't want you to fall out of love with the podcast. I want to try and keep you as a fan. Megan over here, angry, right? If Cruella de Vil was real, it'd be she sits there all cross-legged, thinks she's all nice, but she's going to be dead hard. So yeah, and we'll explain this to you as well. So this here is our leaderboard.
Ooh.
So this is the Taylor Time Tracker, or the TTT. As a reminder, you got to be nice and swift.
Okay.
There we are. Are you a Taylor
it.
Swift fan, or?
I mean, I don't hate her.
That's a
That's
good answer.
Good enough.
So you do have to do it as quickly as possible. We do have a winner at the top so far, Radislaw, at 5 seconds 29. Very, very rapid. He was straight in there.
Yeah.
Now, holding at the bottom is a fellow hairdresser who I believe you're connected with on the old Linky Ian, Anthony Hutton.
Is he Barbara? I think.
Yes, sorry, I thought you knew him. He's a barber. He's famous for winning Big Brother back in 2005. So he's holding up the rear at 2 minutes 59. So I will need to take a quick little snapshot of you if that's all okay. So pose however you want to. I'm just going to line you up. You ready? Lovely.
I don't know if to be smiling though or miserable because I haven't done it yet. So,
Well,
you know,
are you confident? How do you feel?
well, let's hope I can beat 2 minutes at least.
We'll soon find out. So, Molly, are we on the timer? Are you comfortable?
Sure.
Megan, are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. On your marks. Get set. Go.
This brand built its reputation around confidence, inclusivity, and feeling good in your own skin. That's the first clue.
Dove?
Their products are known for being minimalist, photogenic, and instantly recognizable on social media. Just have a guess.
Is it?
Like a brand that's big on social media.
I thought you made this easy. Go to the next clue.
Oh, okay. This mishap involved who was attached to the brand and how quickly public opinion can shift online.
Well, I feel like it was some woman that did a makeup thing or something,
Along the right lines.
but I can't remember who it was.
Fans, can you not try and cheat, please? Fans felt the brand's messaging no longer aligned with its values, sparking backlash and followers in a very loud online debate.
God, who was it?
Do you
This
want to
could be
guess? Or do you want
anyone.
the next clue? No. No.
I can't remember who it was that they. I know it was someone, and everyone hated
Oh,
a woman, and they all hated her.
Yeah. The controversy centred around comments made on a podcast, which led to calls for accountability and forced the brand into damage control mode.
Yeah. I mean, I know this
You
is
know
very
what it is.
relevant, but I don't. I think you forget I'm quite old.
Yeah.
So I don't really know what's going
Sorry,
on.
that was accidental fire. Sorry.
Have any guesses? Like a beauty brand?
Dove.
Yeah, it's not.
No, she
No,
guessed Dove
because-
already.
Oh, yeah.
It's not like Fenty or something, but it's something like.
Yes, like a makeup sort of brand.
Yeah, like the one that Kylie Jenner owns, or the other woman.
No, but
What's the other
similar.
woman? I don't know.
Oh.
Kardashian or something.
Honestly, give us
And
a
it
give us a
was
clue. What's it
someone
begin
like,
with?
G. It begins with G. The brand.
Garnier.
No.
Oh,
No, that's not. No. You'd put it on like. I'd say one of their most famous products, like put it on your lips, and it's like lip.
Gloss.
Yeah.
Is this glow, glow, glow?
No.
Okay.
I don't know how to give more clues. So it begins with
Gloss.
yeah.
what does it rhyme with?
Ossia.
Glossier.
Yeah.
Say glossier.
Glossier.
Stop the clock. Stop the clock.
Okay, well, obviously I did very badly at that.
No,
Who?
but she no,
Was
no.
it,
'Cause
it wasn't Billie Eilish, was it? That
Oh.
was the
I didn't know where to
Emily,
start.
Emily, I don't know how you pronounce her name. Emily Weiss, Emily Weiss,
Emily Weiss.
Emily Weiss.
Emily
maybe?
Weiss. Yeah.
Maybe. It was her. No, right, first of all, it wasn't too hard because she knew the controversy. She
Oh.
knew all about it.
The concept of it.
Yeah, just didn't know the brand. But I would argue that wasn't hard because it's like she was aware of the controversy.
Kate, I apologise. On behalf
No.
of the show, I apologise.
No,
If it was
no.
me, it would have been.
No,
You would have
no.
guessed it in 10 seconds.
No.
Yeah.
So, do you want to explain So, what happened then? So,
Yeah.
what?
So Glossier is a beauty brand founded in 2014, best known for its minimalist products, strong social media presence, and community-led approach. It built a loyal following by promoting natural beauty, inclusivity, and the idea that skincare and makeup should make people feel confident in their own skin. The brand faced backlash after founder Emily
Weiss.
made comments on a podcast that was seen as dismissive of concerns raised by former employees around diversity, inclusion, and workplace culture. The response fell out of step with Glossier's public values, leading to criticism, loss of trust among customers, and a wider conversation about authenticity and leadership in founder-led brands.
A bit like
Well.
the Lizzo thing.
Yes, similar to that.
You learn something new every day. Where do you think you scored there, Kate?
Very
do you
bad.
think? Yeah,
Very bad.
I'm
It's
sorry
not-
to say,
It's not achievable.
I don't think we were as bad as what we think.
No.
I don't think we were down as low as Anthony Hutton.
No.
You may be around the midriff
That's-
of the TTT, potentially the lower midriff. Molly, what are the scores on the doors?
What is Anthony Hutton's?
Oh no! Oh
No,
no!
just so I know, because I don't.
2 minutes 50.
Oh,
2
okay.
minutes 50.
You're not last.
Oh, there you go.
That's
We are in the
something.
2 minute range.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
2 minutes 14.
Okay.
We're drawing. You're right next to me.
Wow.
Good
Oh.
company to be having on the midriff, you and me. Look at that. 2 minutes
Okay.
14, bang on. So we'll get you stuck there.
Okay.
2
There you
minutes
go. Little
14.
space for me there.
There we are. We'll squeeze you in there. But look, thanks for playing that game. Maybe moving forward, producer Molly needs to just check these over beforehand.
She could have checked them over if you hadn't been like, oh my God, can you do this, this, and this? You said the studios, can you do this, and can you do this, and you do this, please? Then maybe we'd have had time to check it.
Do you know, we did forget to
I've
do
just been
something.
spending too much time learning about hair and not
Makeup.
keeping up with
Yeah.
current affairs. I'm
Oh,
afraid.
no.
Don't worry. Look, we'll get what we'll do when HiFib goes on tour. We're going to come on over to the clinic. We'll play it again.
Yeah.
Do you know what? Forget that. You can set the game up. We'll ridicule her. How's that?
I wasn't ridiculing anyone, right? I'm just saying that we were aware of the controversy. We were aware of like what.
No, I've
happened.
never
Really-
even heard of the brand.
Glossier.
No.
I have a lip gloss from there. It's great. I love Glossier.
Is it one that? Okay.
It's one that I've probably lost about 10 times, but I keep finding it.
Are these the ones that you've got your name
No,
on?
that's Kiko.
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 Do you just make these words up? No, sorry, that's Tatukaduk. so, that'd make a great brand. Anyway, back to you, Kate. Sorry.
Yeah.
So, Kate, sounds like you've done really well and clear you're an expert in your field, as I'd put it. Tell me, you mentioned when we were getting this all set up that it's not always been plain sailing and something happened that sort of shook your business world beforehand. What actually happened there?
Well, there's been quite a few things, really. So, because I know obviously the whole theme of this is about failure. And I do think it's really important. And I think especially when you're learning in hairdressing, people get so frustrated when they're trying to learn hair because they want to come in, be shown something and learn how to do it immediately. And any kind of practical skill that you do takes time and effort. And actually, I think people don't always put enough value on what people perceive to be failing, you know. And the first, I would say, kind of, because it makes you think, doesn't it, when you think, oh, how did I fail?
Yeah.
I don't think anyone really realistically can say they've never failed in their life or they've never done anything wrong. I don't think that's true. And I think if people say that, they're not being honest with themselves.
I agree, yeah.
And my first thing really that you'd probably see as a failure is when I was 17, I ended up having to move out of home.
Right.
So I didn't even get to finish my A-levels.
Wow.
Which again, you know, you think you got this plan, everyone's supposed to do A-levels and go to university and get a really good job and your future's all mapped out. And then that all kind of completely changed. But because of that was the only reason I got into the hair industry in the first place. And again, even with hair, you know, when I started at Bromley College, everybody was like, oh, you know, there was quite a few people on my course that had been told, oh, you're not very academic, you're not very bright, go and do hairdressing.
Right.
You know, and it's one of these industries that's often seen as, oh, you're a bit thick or whatever, you don't know what you're doing, go and do hair. And I think a lot of creative subjects and vocational subjects really get a bit of a hard time of it sometimes. Yeah. And with hair, there's a lot of science behind it. There's a lot of chemistry. There's a lot of factors that could go wrong. Nowadays, every hairdresser also has to be their own accountant, you know, business publicist, social media manager, all this kind of thing. It's actually quite complex kind of industry to be in.
100%.
So what I really like to kind of stress to people is there's always more than one path. So I didn't even get to finish my A-levels, but then through hairdressing, I then went on to get a certificate in education. So I got my teaching qualification, and now I've got my degree in trichology as well. So I'm now still kind of level 6 qualified. I just took a different path to get there.
Yeah, yeah.
And so I think it's really important for people to know that maybe if they don't get on at school or what they had all planned out kind of doesn't work, there's still many different ways to get to a really good point in your career or a happy point in your career without that. And everything that I've done, again, it seems to kind of just fallen into place. And then the other thing was when I had my franchise salon. Which I was supposed to have for 5 years. It was contract for 5 years, and after 2.5 years, they took that back. So again, you could think, oh, well, that was a real failure. But I knew it was quite funny because I've always loved education and I always loved that side of it. And it had never even been in my plan to have a salon. And I'd never even really wanted to run my own salon. But the opportunity came up. I worked for a company, and at the time I think they had about 12 or 14 salons, and they were looking to rapidly scale. So they were looking for people that were within their industry already, that were in their business already, to use their capital and their earning power, set the salons up.
Yeah.
And then periodically they would then take a whole load back and company own them, and then move on and open more and then kind of company own them. So I went on to they had like a Christmas dinner. And they had signs in the middle, and it said, franchise opportunities available in certain areas, and one of them was where I lived. And I was like, there's no one else within the company that lives within 40 miles of this salon.
Right.
It has to be me. And it just this thing, I went, no, I'm going to do it. Why not me? No business experience, no managerial training really. I'd always been in education and hair. Had no money whatsoever. And I went to my boss, the boss of the education department, and I just said, I think this should be me. And she was like, Katie, you could do that with your eyes closed. She was like, honestly, I'll back you. Just go and do it. She said, but I'm telling you now, the bosses they'll be really harsh on you. She went, I can set up a meeting, but they'll be really, really strict, and they're going to be really harsh. And I went up and kind of had a chat with them, and they were just like, yeah, no, fine, sure.
Wow.
Had to put my house up as collateral.
Wow, okay.
So, because I don't have any family that are going to give me deposit money or hand out to me or help me, and they said to me, who's backing you, who's supporting you? I was like, no one. Put my house up as collateral. Next thing you know, I think I was about £150,000 in debt through that. But just was like, we've got to go for it. And again, my solicitor was like, oh, are you sure you want to sign this? Because this doesn't look very good and that doesn't look very good.
Well, there's some sort of like red flags there.
Negotiate with it and all this. And I said, they won't negotiate. You either sign it as it is or they give it to someone else. It's that simple. And they kind of said, at the end of your term, we'll look at everything and we'll look at what the ongoing business is and we'll buy you out. So you could get, 50 grand or 100 grand. And I thought, there's no way you're going to do that. You're going to say, it's all depreciated. There's no money here. And that happened to quite a few people. Where they got promised, we'll pay you out or we'll buy you out of your contract or whatever. For me, obviously, like I said, I was on my own. I'd even put my house up. So when they decided they wanted to take over the next wave, it was very easy for them to just kind of go, we'll take that. So I started it with nothing. Walked away from it with nothing. Kept my house. Didn't owe anything. They just took it over. But in those 2.5 years, I learnt more about owning a business, running a salon, and dealing with people than if I'd have done a whole business degree. And if I'd have done a business degree, I'd probably be 30 grand in debt from student loans or whatever. So it was an amazing experience. And actually, in a way, I was doing literally 7 days a week. I worked 80 hours a week.
Yeah.
We opened on the 9th of May, I think it was. And my first day off was the 27th of September. I worked 7 days a week, sometimes 10 hours a day,
Yeah.
all that time. And they know that obviously if they open salons and put people in to run them, they're not going to get that drive, that dedication, that investment. So I think, and I didn't really even do anything wrong for them to take it off me. They just decided that was the next phase. But I can't, you know, you would say, oh, that was a failure, but you can take so much out of all this stuff. I still can't kind of say I'm not glad I did it.
I really love your approach to that. It'll be interesting. You can tell us off camera when the cameras are, because I think I know the company. I think
you probably do.
it's one of two that's in my head, and potentially it's one that we used as our mystery mishaps when Anthony Hutton came on. Potentially, we'll ask
I'm
off.
just giving it away. And like super fans
Well,
remember
Come at
that.
me, solicitors. Come at me.
Unconfirmed.
Yeah, come at me.
Yeah, we can talk about that.
Yeah, but because again, I sometimes look. The reason we do this podcast, the reason we like to sit down with people is to remind everyone that mistakes do happen. Like, could be big, could be small. Life happens, right? It's not always plain sailing, you know. And I don't want to be patronising, but you've taken a really nice, holistic approach to that. You know, like the words that you said when we were talking about that was that it was a learning. You learn so much. Can I just ask, in that moment though, did you feel that way? Or were you like, oh, you bastards?
No, totally not. But, and obviously it was, I mean, I could kind of see it coming because they kind of called me up on my day off, and I'd seen that over the previous 3 months, they'd kind of progressively kind of set up this, you're not taking enough money, you're not doing what you've been contracted to do, blah, blah, blah. So I could see the setup and I knew that it was going to happen. But obviously at the time, it's not great to know that you've had this whole thing. And in actual fact, they did it on my day off at the end of the month. And I thought, well, at least I've got my last month's pay coming. They never gave it to me.
Bastards.
So I then had a mortgage to pay, no job, had my salon taken away, and didn't even have my last month's pay to rely on to keep me afloat for the last month. I'd been working for very low wages for that whole 2.5 years to support the business. So I didn't have any savings or backup or anything. But again, actually, from that, I then applied to go and work for Weller at the London Weller Studios as an educator there. And there were 6 or 7 jobs available, and out of 750 people, I got one of those jobs.
Wow.
And again, I would have never even been looking for that opportunity had I still had the salon, and I had nothing to lose. So I just went, I'm going to apply for that. And there were 750 applicants and 6 or 7 jobs. So then I went on to work for Weller as a technical educator there for a year, which was, you know, I mean, I loved it. I absolutely loved it. And it was a great job and a great company to work for, completely different ethos. So you never really know what's round the corner. But of course, at the time, it was quite stressful.
Yeah.
But I've also, and I can't afford like £1,000 lawyer to take them to court and go, well, I want this, I want that. You just have to kind of accept. But I think also acceptance is a big part of it. Yeah. So there were other people who it happened to where they're like, I'm going to hire a hitman and I'm going to break their legs and I'm going to do this. And I think you can be angry about it and that you have a right to be. When something really shitty happens to you, you have a right. It's the same with hair loss. You know, people come in.
I don't know why you're looking at me. Sorry.
It's the same with hair loss. People come in and, you know, sometimes they're upset, but sometimes they are really angry. They're like, why is this happening to me? You know, especially when you don't deserve. I did not deserve that.
No.
But you can say, you know what, it's valid to be angry and be upset and not enjoy what's happening, but you can't hold on to that, and you have to look at right, well, what was my part in that? I didn't walk into that thinking, these guys are really upstanding, moral businessmen. They're never going to fuck me over. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
I kind of knew what the possibilities were. Yes, the worst kind of happened. And I never like to think the worst. But in a way, you have to kind of plan for what could happen. But you can't kind of hold on to that. You need to kind of look what actually happened. And also I think people say, if it's the worst, if you're in the worst situation and it's the worst it's ever been, the story's not over.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like it will always, so far it's always come out again the other side. So
the universe happens. You're absolutely smashing it right now. And look, great story. And I think, again, a reminder for everyone that, look, things do happen. There are bellends in business out there. That'll make a great little networking group. Bib. Hi, welcome to Bib. Bellends in business. We'll say that. We'll get them invited. But we do want to just finish off and just talk about some of the things that you're up to now. So I know you've got some online courses. But we'd like to just get you into our final segment of the show today, if that's okay. Grievance Gurus. It's a new segment. Now, this is where we encourage listeners, viewers, to write in with their grievances. And we, as a collective, have to decide whether it's a grievance, they've got a right to complain, or whether it's not a grievance, okay? So this one came in not too long ago, came in anonymously, and the grievance goes like this. Dear Grievance Gurus, I used to work with a guy who would pick his feet at his desk. He would come back from a long day of external visits, take off his shoes and his socks, put his feet up on the desk, and just go to town on his toenails. Sorry, shouldn't laugh. He would sometimes throw his socks at the girls in the office. Discuss. Is that a grievance?
Can I ask, why?
I don't know. That is disgusting. Would you not agree? That is vile.
Yeah, but what goes through someone's head to do that?
I don't even think that kind of behaviour is acceptable in your own home.
No.
There's other people present.
Literally,
let alone in an office environment.
So he just, he was picking his toenails?
So he's like picking, he just says picking his...
What do you mean picking the...
or he says go to town on his toenail. So he might be, I just assumed he was just like, if you're just fiddling and playing, not that I do it, with his toenails, you're dirty. But maybe he was just cutting them, but that's vile.
It's a no from me.
No.
Yeah, I think that's a valid grievance. And throwing your socks at...
Yeah.
One of the weirdest things I ever saw when I used to have to commute to London was there was literally a guy sat on the train with everyone around him, and he had an electric razor, and he was shaving his beard.
I was going to say,
train.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is something you should be doing in your bathroom.
Yeah,
I don't think that's
public.
I don't think that's right.
I think any kind of personal hygiene regime should be kept either at home.
Yeah.
Or maybe go see a chiropodist or something and get it done.
Or you nip to the toilet, or
even that's bad enough, I'd argue.
What do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you do in?
Should I not? No, I don't really.
But wasn't it embarrassed? Just getting his
also,
feet
is
out.
it that immediate? Is it that uncomfortable that you can't wait till you
surely
get
not.
home?
Yeah.
Do you know what he needs for Christmas? One of those little foot spa things from the 90s.
Oh yeah, they're lovely. They are. Do you remember when it was all the rage to have fish?
Yeah, they don't
eating
really do that now, do
they? There was 3 in the High Cross here in Leicester. I'm sure of it. They were dead popular. But it was very. Molly, you've stayed quiet on this.
As well.
Say again, sorry.
That was a bit wrong to me.
Eating the fish, but I think that's why they stopped it, because it was very unhygienic and apparently
and also
unfair
probably not very nice for the
on the fish.
No,
Yeah.
exactly.
Molly, what do we think? Is that a grievance, or do we let this one slide?
Yes, valid
Grievance. Okay, Megan.
That's a grievance.
Yeah, it's a no.
Grievance. I think that's a valid grievance. I think that sounds very purposeful, and throwing your socks at the girls in the office.
Throwing the socks.
That's just vile.
Is that some sort of flirting? What is that?
I don't know. I might try it sometime.
No. Ew.
Yeah, and after doing it after external visits. So you've been on your feet all day. No, disgusting grievance. Well, look, if you do have a grievance, maybe something's happened in your current workplace, maybe you've got an embarrassing story to share from your previous workplace, please do write in. You can just go to howifeltinbusiness.co.uk, find the contact form. You can send it in with your name, you can send it in with a anonymously, and Megan promises to send a thank you card to everyone that sends them in. She doesn't know about it yet.
Why would
Not to that man, though.
Not
He
to-
doesn't
not-
deserve
no.
it.
No, not to the picking
No.
feet man, no.
Picking of the feet, man.
Picking feet man.
Disgusting. Well, look, Kate, it's been great to sit down and talk with you, and I feel like we could chat for ages. But tell us a bit about what you're doing now. You mentioned on the form your online courses for hairdressers. What's going on with those?
Yeah, so obviously if anyone's got any hair or scalp issues, or they're a hairdresser and they've got clients with them, then they're welcome to refer them to me. But for hairdressers, like I said earlier, if they want to grow a bit more confidence, they might have clients that are coming in with hair or scalp issues and feel like maybe they're not even confident enough to raise it with their clients, or they kind of don't really know what to say, or they'd like to know a little bit more around the hair and scalp issues, hair loss. I do a online or in-person theory day called the Hair and Scalp Salon Specialist. So it really gives people a chance as well to elevate their level of consultation and their level of kind of customer care. And I do think there's a lot more focus on hair loss at the moment in general. So everybody in their business needs a bit of a point of difference and a reason why they might be the person to go and see. So being a bit more of a hair and scalp expert is surely going to help their business. I also, that got so popular that I also do a scalp treatment workshop day as well off the back of that. So if people want kind of practical options and training as well, obviously that's in person, but I do that as well. And like I said, I've also got the podcast as well, which is a valid resource for anyone if they want to know anything more about something specific to do with hair loss or scalp health or a certain condition or product. There's about 200 episodes on there now.
Wow.
So there's probably an episode about it. If not, message me and I'll try and get an expert on that can cover it.
Amazing. Well, make sure we share all your links in the show notes and all the descriptions below. And if you ever need a guest that's going through receding hairlines and or greying of hairs, I'll speak to my friend. I'll check his schedule for you and let you know. But Kate, you've been great. Some really great stories and a good sport all the same. So thank you so much. And of course, a thank you to you, the listener and the viewer. That is a wrap for today's episode of How I Failed in Business.
If today's chat made you laugh or feel slightly better about your own business decisions, then our job is done.
If you did enjoy it, which I hope you did, don't forget to follow, subscribe, or leave us a review. It really does help us out.
And if you've got a failure of your own or there's a topic you'd love for us to cover, come and find us on socials or drop us a message. We'd love to hear it.
Thanks so much for tuning in. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.